All right, I think we can go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. I am Lina, a Customer Success Manager here at ThankView. Thank you for coming to today's webinar. We're going to talk about using ThankView for personalized birthday campaigns. Right now, we're joined by 3 unique ThankView partners and have all been using birthday campaigns, among other ThankView features. And today, they're going to share their insights to help you create your next birthday campaign. If throughout this webinar you have any questions, please use the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen, and we will answer your question at the end. First, let's introduce our 3 awesome panelists. We have me, Lina, a Customer Success Manager here, and we also have Kate Baker. She is the Joint Operations Manager at Connor Prairie Museum in Fishers, Indiana, which is a nonprofit organization that she's been with for the past 3 years. Connor Prairie is a living museum that focuses on the education of history, agriculture, and nature. It's a place Kate has gone since she was a child, and prior to Connor Prairie, Kate worked in media and talent relations at HBO in Los Angeles, California. Welcome, Kate.
Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. Next, we have Katie Drunkenmiller. Katie is a donor relations officer at the Hill School in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. The Hill School is a high school age co-educational preparatory building school and is located outside of Philadelphia. Excuse me. Katie has been with the Hill School since 2017, and this is her first role focusing on stewardship and donor relations. She has previously worked as a business officer and a nonprofit consultant, and she is a graduate of Ursinus College with degrees in chemistry and economics. Thank you, Katie, for coming.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Perfect. And we have Brittany Finch. Brittany is the Assistant Director of Alumni Relations at the University of Akron. She has been with UA since 2010. Before working in alumni relations, she worked in admissions as an admissions counselor and then as assistant director for 8 years. She's a 2-time graduate of the University of Akron with a bachelor's degree in family and child development and a master's in higher education administration. Thank you, Brittany, for coming. And so now let's take a look at example campaigns that they have all created. First, here's a birthday campaign from Connor Prairie. They do a great job of sending out personalized videos to donors that they've built personal relationships with.
Hey Doug, we heard that today is your birthday, and from the Connor Prairie team, we just wanted to say, Happy birthday!
Perfect. So next, here's the Hill School's birthday campaign where they were able to get students involved with some cool choreography.
Hi, we heard it's your birthday. All of us here at Hill want to celebrate you. We hope you have a blast on your special day. We hope your year is filled with joy, happiness, and victories.
Come on.
We know a little bit about tradition here. If all of us here at Hill wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
You are an important member of the Hill family, and all of us here at Hill wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
definitely an interesting video with a small message here at the bottom. And next is the University of Akron's birthday thank you that includes their talented marching band. It's a great video, and so now we'll go back. And something that I would like to point out is that all three of these panelists come from different types of organizations, whether it's a nonprofit, university, or K-12 school. With this variety that we have today, we're able to get different types of perspectives on using ThankView while focusing on this one common feature, which is the birthday campaign. So without any further ado, I will get started. So first question I have is, why did you decide to do a birthday campaign? So Brittany, do you mind starting off? How did you come up with your birthday strategy?
Sure. So as mentioned, I work at the University of Akron, and we're a pretty large institution. We have about 140,000 alumni that we are working with. However, we do have an incredibly small staff. It is made up of me and two other people, all managing the 140,000 alumni that we have. And
wow.
So, yeah. So we kind of looked into the birthday idea because it's a kind of a very easy way to tap a lot of those alumni and just let them know that we're here. And it's pretty passive because you're obviously able to upload everything and kind of have it going on its own. So it was, again, a way to send a personalized message from the three of us.
Yeah, perfect. Great. Thank you, Brittany. And Katie, do you mind telling us how you decided to do this?
Yes, we at the Hill School have always sent birthday cards for many, many years. And we decided to try the video to make it more personalized. We thought it'd be a great opportunity to do something different and keep up with expectations of our recipients. We wanted to be able to bring Hill to them so that they could see students and faculty and the campus. And we thought a video campaign would be a great way to do that.
That's great. And who is your audience, alumni or donors?
We send it to all managed prospects. So it's alumni, parents, previous parents, friends, but they're all in our donor pools.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Let me take a swig of my water. And Kate, how about you? How did you decide to do a birthday campaign?
Sure. So we are always looking for new ways to really connect with our donors. And that's really who we're sending these videos to, are just strictly our donors, and specifically more of our high-level donors who we have built really strong relationships with. So for us to be able to do just a very personalized touch through ThankView has proven to be very beneficial for us. So we just it allowed for us to be a little bit more creative in our outreach to them.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you both for your answers. I love that. Okay, so next, who do you include in your campaign creation process, and what is their level of interaction? Kate, do you mind starting off? How is your campaign process, and who is included in your campaign process?
Absolutely. So I have a really, I'm lucky, I have a very enthusiastic boss about ThankView. So our Chief Development Officer is often included in the messaging. That's actually in the video that we showed here in this webinar. That was my boss that was doing all the talking, which is really fun to put someone like him in the forefront and deliver that message. So our CEO of our organization is involved in these videos. He makes a lot of appearances that way. So, but of course with our donor stewardship, we involve a lot of our prospect managers in that. So we try to get as personalized as we can and involve the people that they know in the video.
Great, thank you. Thank you. One thing that I always see success in is having that executive buy-in. So having that CEO in the video, having the boss in the video, I think that's great because you really see more of a better response with those type of videos. So thank you. So Brittany, can you tell us a bit, you mentioned before you only had 2 people in your team, but you have such a great video. Who do you include in your campaign creation process?
Sure. So in regards to coming up with the ideas of what we did, myself and then my boss are really the 2 people that kind of have a say in what we do. And I had come up with the idea of just, we try to integrate parts of the campus that might, touch memories of our students or our past students, I should say. And so I came up with the idea of using the marching band, and my boss is kind of a visionary, and he came up with an idea. And we actually have an alumni a business who is owned by some of our alumni here in the Akron area that we were able to work with to produce it. But all of the creation and idea process came from myself and my boss.
That's great. I love the, you have a small team, but you also, reach out to other teams. So I definitely think that's some great advice as well, just including whoever you can. Thank you for your answer, Brittany. And Katie, who do you include in your birthday campaign process?
So I have in stewardship and donor relations, there are 4 of us. I'm the primary person for the birthday videos, but the 4 of us kind of get together to brainstorm. And then we also bring in our Office of Strategy Management. They oversee communications and video. So we have a team there that we work closely with for the actual production of the video. So it just depends what kind of video we decide to make for the year, who would need to be involved. So, but we work closely as our team and then with the other team from communications.
Perfect, thank you. And going into a little bit more specific, how do you record and collect your birthday video? So Katie, you have an elaborate choreography in your video. How is that video process from directing, choreography, getting students involved? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. We, as the donor relations team, often come up with the idea and brainstorm it, and we try to do a different type of video each year. So the video everyone saw is our second year. Our first year video was very traditional, and our small chorus groups were singing happy birthday. So we wanted something completely different. We worked with the students and faculty who are also graduates, are all of the faculty in the video, and we coordinate with all of them for the shooting time. And then we have our videographer and our graphic designers help out. The videographer is the one who directs and records everything on the day, but we try to work together as much as we can beforehand to have everything practiced and lined up and ready to go for the day of the shoot.
Perfect, thank you. And Brittany, you said that you have an alumni video company coming in. How is that relationship? Are you in the video editing process? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So this is actually, that's the second video we did. The first video we did was a lot smaller scale. We have a person on our campus that will do video editing and putting that stuff together. And that's who we used the first time. But we just wanted something that looked a little bit more professional and eye-catching. And so in the case for this year, we just reached out to them with our idea, set up a production, like a date for them to come in and do everything. We worked with our marching band to, they came up with like a special music to play. And then they did all the editing and everything themselves. And we just got the video and told them what we liked and what angles we'd rather see, and kind of had a voice in that process. But in regards to the filming, I mean, we were there when they were filming it, but we didn't really do any of the editing or anything like that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And Kate, you have such a great group of people in your video. What kind of tools, equipment do you use, or can you tell us a bit more about your video recording?
Yeah, we tend to keep it very simple and really just solely use our iPhones for this. It's kind of the touch that we like that ThankView offers for us to be kind of unpolished and a little bit more just personal. So we have a great marketing and communications team that pushes out all these ads for us and social media stuff. So for us, that was the appeal of ThankView, was to kind of have that more like friendly approach in terms of just being able to record a quick video and send it right away. We just really like having that as an option.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just being able to record on your phone and send out a really homegrown video. It's, it gives you like a fuzzy feeling inside, especially because I know in your videos, you guys, it was like, "Hi, Doug," and you're naming the person. So I think,
right.
So thank you. And so the next question is, what does the rest of your campaign process look like? By that, I mean designing the ThankView or sending the ThankView. Do you have an approval process? Kate, do you mind starting us off with that?
Yeah, mine's pretty simple actually. I'm the one that oversees the whole ThankView process, and approval just really kind of goes through the prospect manager and the CDO here, just to make sure that it's very genuine and that it matches for sure what we know about our donor that we're sending this message to.
Perfect, thank you. And Brittany, do you mind adding on anything about what the rest of your campaign process looks like? Maybe how you pull your lists or something like that?
Sure. So in regards to our campaign, we like to run each video for a year. So we do January to December. And in regards to that, we're just sending the same ThankView, but because we work from a list of all of our alumni, we work with our development office, and they do like our research team. They pull all of our alumni's email information, and I get that information probably every 2 to 3 months because we want to make sure we're up to date on people's email addresses. They change, people ask to be removed from our email list. And obviously other things happen, people pass away. So we try to be respectful of all of that. And so in working with research, every 3 months, I go in and I upload a new list. And from there, everything is pretty standard because again, we're sending out a lot because it's a large amount of people. So we do try to keep the process pretty simple.
Yeah, definitely, I understand. And Katie, anything about your campaign creation process? Again, like how you pull your lists or who is part of that approval process?
Yeah, we pull our list out of our database, Razor's Edge. We pull it monthly for all managed donors, and we pull it by gift officer. And then I send a list each month to every gift officer. We have gift officers, we have annual fund gift officers, up to our headmaster who also sends ThankView messages. They each get a spreadsheet, write a personalized message for each donor, and then return it to me, and I look through them, edit them, and then I do the rest of the campaign creation process in ThankView. But each gift officer writes a personalized note to every donor on their list each month, so that there's again monthly they go through the process, but we do the same video for a year so that every year the donors will get a new video.
Perfect, thank you. The next question that I have is, do you have any memorable responses from your birthday sends? Brittany, any responses from any of your alumni?
Yeah, it's actually, I feel pretty fortunate. I get a response. I usually come in, we send them at 8 a.m. every morning, and I usually do end up with a couple responses, but I've had some really neat ones. Even recently, we had one person who responded that they were on a cruise in Greece, and they actually played the video for the entire cruise, which is kind of cool. And then I also had another person who emailed, it was real touching, just that nobody ever remembers their birthday, and they really appreciated hearing from us. So we get a lot of just thank you for thinking of me, and those types of responses. It's just nice that people are looking at them, but they're reminded that we're still here.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that. I love the Grease.
Yeah, I was like, man, they said everyone was like clapping along and singing.
Wow, how do they even, anyways, that's awesome. So Katie, any memorable responses from any of the Hill School prospects?
Most of our responses are very appreciative and thank you for remembering me. And it was wonderful to see the campus and a faculty member that they hadn't thought of in years. We have had a couple very positive responses for our gift officers in that they have been trying to reach out to folks to schedule meetings and visits and get in front of them, and have just been ignored. And the birthday video has actually opened doors for our gift officers and enabled them to get visits. So as part of the Office of Institutional Giving, that's our priority. So our best responses are those where it creates the conversation with the gift officers.
Great, I love that. It's definitely a great touch point to have with, again, like the people you definitely want to communicate with. That's great, thank you. And Kate, any memorable responses from Conner Prairie?
Yeah, Katie, I would actually say very much the same of what you spoke about. This has become, I don't know that we have any super memorable responses other than just lots of messages of gratitude, but it has absolutely opened the door for greater conversations. I think when people feel like you, just like Brittany said, when people feel like they are remembered in a special way and in a genuine way, I think that opens that conversation and can kind of take down some of those barriers that people feel when they're talking to their development teams who they know an ask is coming somewhere down the road, but it brings you that much closer and makes your relationship that much stronger. So I think it's a door opener for us for sure.
Great, thank you. And so lastly, do you have any advice for other partners using ThankView for birthday campaigns? Kate, if you don't mind starting us off, maybe something you wish you knew when starting out with ThankView?
Yeah, I just think the most important thing is just to dive in and do it. Everyone wants to be remembered. Everyone wants to feel like they matter. And I think that this is just a beautiful way to do that. So, I mean, I know I am definitely still polishing kind of my process, and it's been really interesting to see what the other panelists have been doing. And your videos were amazing, by the way, ladies. But yeah, I just think that just dive in and start working with it and see what works for you.
Perfect. Katie, do you have any advice that you have?
My biggest advice is a couple things. I would say that keep it fun. We had a very traditional first year video, and then our second year video, which you all saw, was much more lighthearted and whimsical. And both videos went over equally as well. They just loved both of them. So the hardest part for us is trying to think of a new video every year. So my advice is plan ahead. If you think it's going to take your team 2 months to produce a video, it's really going to take 4 to 6. We started our video process in May and are still working on it now. Hopefully it is done very soon. So that is my biggest piece of advice, is just try to keep it fun and bring your organization to them and help them, you know, remember their fond times and all of that, but plan ahead.
Great, thank you. And Brittany, anything that you would want to add?
Yeah, those are both great points. I think to kind of like piggyback off of that, for us, because we're trying, you know, in our office, our job is to just rekindle the relationship and keep the relationship there. And so for us, the biggest thing is trying to come up with ideas that are going to feel nostalgic for our alumni. That's why the band was so nice, is because, you know, everybody thinks of the marching band when they think of, you know, going, I shouldn't say everyone, but like going to college, you think of game days and the marching band. And so it's just a matter of trying to come up with ideas that are going to kind of touch at the heartstrings or the memories. That's been what's big for us. We have people now who are like, oh, I can't wait to see what your birthday video is for next year, which is also kind of like a catch-22, because now we have to top it every year. But kind of just you trying to be creative and come up with ideas that are going to you know, trigger emotion, like good emotions for your the people you're messaging.
Perfect, thank you. And I would love to now open up the floor to any questions that our audience has. Please let me know in the Q&A box or in the chat. Please write your questions. I do have one question that was asked via email before this webinar, so I'm just gonna pull it up real quick. So this question is coming from one of the partners that I work with. So the question is, how do birthdays factor into your overall audience outreach? Katie, do you mind starting off with this?
Sure. So our birthday videos, as I mentioned, just go to our managed donors. We have periodically used them in other ways, but the birthday videos is just for managed donors. So it's something that they get. The Hill creates a lot of video content that's pushed out to social media and things like that via email. So our greater alumni and supporter base get a lot of videos. This is just for the donors. So it's special just for the donors.
Perfect, thank you. Brittany, do you mind adding on, how do birthdays factor into your outreach strategy?
Sure. So the birthdays are probably the most personal thing that we do, like, for our alumni. Otherwise, they're hearing from us about events and other things that we're trying to engage them in a different way. But we send the birthday message to every single one of our alumni that have an active email that have given us permission to send an email to. And that's kind of how we determine how we send, like, who we send it to. And it's just another touch for us to let them know we're thinking of them.
Perfect, thank you. And Kate, I know you build these personal relationships with the people you send the birthday campaigns to. Can you tell us a bit more about that and how your overall outreach strategy falls using birthdays?
Absolutely. So ours are very much done as one-off videos for each person. The birth dates actually are not something that our museum typically collects from all members or donors. So if we've acquired that information, then we've probably got a really good relationship with that donor. So that's why we don't do necessarily the mass send-outs of birthday greetings, and why they are able to be just really that very personalized and very one-off. So yeah.
All right, that's perfect. Please, there's someone in the chat. Okay, so there's a question. And the question is, if you don't have the budget for a videographer, are videos for ThankView easy to create in-house? Kate, I know you make your own videos on an iPhone. Do you mind elaborating on the question?
ThankView makes it very easy to do just simple videos. Aside from birthday greetings, of course, we do a lot of thank you messaging as well. And I've used it in the past for event reminders. That's where my most edited video, I would say, was an event reminder. And I ended up using just iMovie. I did everything on my phone and uploaded it. We got some great responses from that as well.
Perfect. Hopefully that was able to answer your question, Ashton. Also, if you want to look in our FAQ section on our website, we also have an Animoto partnership that you can get a discounted rate on a yearly package. So definitely check that out if you have the chance. Please let me know if anyone else has any other questions. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is the last part. Oh, there's a Q&A section. And last thing is, I really recommend to join our Facebook community group. I'm going to copy and paste the link into the chat right here. And here you will be able to ask for advice and see how other partners are using ThankView for the same reasons as you are and for the same reasons that our panelists are. And I just pasted the link into the chat, so please check that out. You will just request to join, or you can just look up ThankView Community Group on the search bar on Facebook. It's really easy to find. So definitely wanted to shout that out. And lastly, thank you to Kate, Brittany, and Katie for coming on to be panelists in this webinar. I definitely learned a lot, and I hope you did too, to all the attendees who came. And thank you everyone else for coming today. If you have any other questions, you can email me at Lina, L-I-N-A, @thankview.com, or you can email support@thankview.com as well, and we will get back to you. Thank you everyone for coming again, and I can't wait to see how all of you use ThankView in the future. All right, perfect. Thank you everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you.